Hey everybody, Luxinda Swirl here. A new day, new cups project. So recently I was watching my favorite YouTuber, Anthony Crammon, and at the suggestion of one of his viewers, he was trying out these Brusho crystal colors for the first time. When I watched his video, which I will link below so you can go see it, my very first thought was, and then my very second thought was, how do I get these on a cup? And I have thought of 3 ways so far. There are probably lots more ways, but the first 3 that came to mind are the first 3 we are going to try in this video today. Let's try and get Brusho crystal color on these 3 cups. Here we go. Okay, we're back. Time to start this project with the first cup. I have here my Brusho crystals. I have already opened these up, these colors. I saved one to show you what I did. I was going to take the top off and then dip a brush in and brush some on, but I thought that might be a little overkill at the beginning. Maybe I should start out a little more conservatively. So what I'm doing is a recommended thing, which is taking a pokey tool or an awl and poking a hole in the top of the container. It gives you a spot to do it even. Oh, there. If you look where, the middle of the label is, you would have seen, I poked through it now, there was a little indentation there. I have this cup. It's a 20-ounce tumbler from Makerflow. I sanded it, washed it, spray painted it matte white, and I have put 2 layers of Aleene's Tack It over and over, mixed with water. Brushed 2 layers on, let each layer dry. So now it is dry but tacky. And we are going to proceed with our first test. Turn the tumbler turner on. I have parchment paper under here to catch any crystals that don't stick to the cup because I want to hang on to them. I will put them in an empty dump jar, basically. So this is me being conservative. This is blue. And this is orange. They do give you a nice label to show you. This is violet. This is the magenta or crimson. Okay, sea green. And lastly, yellow. Pick up what's dropped. Put it in my dump jar. I'll use the dump jar stuff to put some on the bottom here. You see that? Oh, my hand's in the way, sorry. There we go. I admit I was going to test this first off camera because I'm not really sure what's going to happen. And I was thinking, maybe I should do this first before everybody else sees me do it, in case it's a total bomb. But you've seen other fails I've done, so what the heck, right? What's another one? So what I'm going to do is I have this ultra-fine mister, thanks to Amazon, and I filled it with 99.9% alcohol that I got, guess where? Off Amazon, and I'm going to create an ultrafine mist that I'm going to waft over the cup, and we are going to see what happens. Here we go. I did put blue on here, right? It's not coming through well at all. The yellow is. This is really interesting. I have to tell you, I'm feeling a little underwhelmed by some of these colors, but The others are beautiful. The purple is gorgeous. I see no blue coming through though. That really surprises me. You may be wondering why I'm doing this with alcohol instead of water, which is, I mean, these are watercolor crystals. And the reason is because I really didn't want it to start beating up and running all over the cup. I really wanted the crystals to stay in place and bloom where they were. And I'm getting that with some of them. Not so much with the others though. That's fascinating. Well, this isn't as spectacular as I was hoping it was going to be. Let's see if I can get some more blue going here, because I really keep thinking the blue would be really nice to see. This is gorgeous. Yeah, where the blue is, though, whole different thing. All right, well, that is test number one. That is cup number one. I'm gonna put that aside. We're gonna do a different test now. Be right back. All right. So this is my faster turner, the one I use for the waterfall technique and the serape marker technique. It goes twice as fast as my other tumbler turners. This may seem like it's basically the same idea as the cup we just did, but it's slightly different. And I'm gonna start by flooding the cup with alcohol, like I do, but instead of dropping on alcohol inks, I am going to sprinkle on these crystals, and we'll see if having that much more alcohol that the crystals fall into is going to make any difference at all. We'll see. Again, I did not test this first. I do not know what's going to happen. Okay, flooded with alcohol. That blue is just underwhelming. This is the green, orange, purple, yeah, the purple is fantastic. Crimson, magenta, red. And the yellow, which is sort of already on there from the green. We don't really need more, but put it on anyway. Yeah, look at that purple. Holy cow, that's beautiful. The blue is just not even phoning it in. Huh, fascinating. Unfortunately, we are getting some muddying going on here. It's kind of what I was trying to avoid with the other one. But I also wanted to see what would happen in this situation. Yeah, that's not really impressive. It's very colorful. Okay, this has become kind of ugly. We'll put it aside. We'll see what happens when it dries, but I don't expect it to get any prettier. Okay, stay tuned. We'll come back and try the third idea I had. We'll see how that one goes. And we're back. All right, third cup. Now, I don't want you to get discouraged because contrary to what I thought with the first two cups, a lot of things happened after I put them aside and gave them time to think about things. So we will go back, obviously, and see all three cups, but I want to continue on and do this third one, and then we'll review and do the big reveal and all that. So my third idea was to see if I could mix some of these crystals with alcohol and turn them into effectively alcohol ink. It seems like it ought to be possible, but then again, I've been a little surprised by how things have gone so far. So I got out my 99.5% isopropyl alcohol. I have my crystals. I took 6 little bottles. I sprinkled some of the crystals into each bottle and I added just a couple milliliters of the alcohol. And I switched them around and I let them sit for a couple days, hoping that the colors would bloom nicely. And some of them did and some of them didn't. It should come as no surprise that the troublemakers were the green, which just looks yellow because the green is made up of blue and yellow mixed together, and the blue simply does not want to behave. It just, this has been sitting for days and days now. This is the blue crystals in alcohol, and it is still just crystals in alcohol. There's really no pigment. I mean, it looks dark, but it's not blue alcohol now. It's just crystals in alcohol. So I'm only going to work with the ones that behaved. Thankfully, that was the other 4. So we have a beautiful purple, and we have our crimson, and it's still a little crystally too. I think you can see that against the side, but it's also dissolved. So it's crystals clinging to the side a little bit, but it's also dissolved in there. And then the yellow and the orange. What I wanted to do for the 3rd cup was get them to dissolve and then do the waterfall rain technique on a tumbler. These are not alcohol inks, they are colors in alcohol. That's what they are. We are not going to use the blue and the green. They'll just look like chunks. I have these 4, and I have my brass for the accents, and I have my cheapo 91% alcohol from Walmart that I'm going to flood the cup with, drop these colors on, drop the accent on, and hit it with heat, and we're gonna see what we get. Wish me luck. This is the crimson. The purple. And the orange. The brass. Just a little bit of that. I'm going to come back in with more purple. Oh gosh. All right. Let's see what happens. Well, I have to say it's extremely subtle, but I don't dislike it at all. It's kind of cool. I think without the brass to help define different areas, it would be a lot less interesting. So I'm glad I used the brass. But yeah, I don't hate that at all. Not my favorite set of colors. Obviously, I would have preferred to use the blue and the green, but that was not happening. It's kind kind of cool. So I have learned that I need to seal these because they are watercolor. I need to seal them with a special Krylon paint called Kamar varnish, K-A-M-A-R. I will link it below. I found it at Walmart, so it is easy to get a hold of. It very much stinks like a petroleum product, so I'm guessing that's why it doesn't cause watercolors to run. So I will spray this with a few layers of that after this is totally dry. I am going to put resin on all 3 of these cups. I will be adding the rainbow alcohol ink, and then we'll take a look at them because I think this is a pretty cool experiment and I want to keep going with these. I do. So I'll talk about that at the end of the video as well, what I want to try next. And please, everybody who's watched this far, first of all, thank you very much. Second of all, when you're done watching the video, please do leave me a suggestion as to how you would like me to try these in a future video on a cup. Okay, everyone, just a quick recap before we go to the big reveal. I have put sayings on each one of these. I did 2 with water slides and 1 with layered vinyl. I was really pleased with how these turned out. I honestly didn't know because I used alcohol instead of water. And I'm anticipating, again, I mentioned this already, I'm anticipating a comment or 2 from folks who think that I did it wrong. You know, that these are supposed to be used with water and I didn't do that, so don't I know anything? Don't I know the rules? I will tell you, if you aren't familiar with my channel already, I do a lot of experimenting here. I am not a big believer in rules. If I see something, I want to play around with it and try different things. And sometimes that means using it in a way that may not be normal, may not be commonplace. And I think that's okay, because every once in a while I get an amazing result. Other times I get a total fail. I show it all. So we are going to recap by taking these out in the sunshine and showing them to you on my little rotating stand one at a time. I'm going to start with the cup we did most recently. This is cup number 3. This was the one where I mixed the crystals in alcohol and used 4 of the 6 of them as alcohol inks in a waterfall technique. That's this one. This is cup number 2. This is where I flooded the cup with alcohol, then sprinkled on the crystals just to see what would happen. This is cup number 1, where I applied crystals using the Tacky method and then misted them with alcohol. And in these 2 cases, a lot happened after I turned the camera off, which is unfortunate. I should have done a time lapse. I will try and remember to do that sort of thing next time because I have ideas for more cups already. So don't worry, there will be more because I think these are so cool. I really do. So you're going to see how these bloomed. I have put a layer of resin on all of them. I have included my Marabou rainbow ink. Let's just get right to the big reveal. Here we go.